Now, sit tight and get ready for today's wild adventure. We're about to hit a bunch of hilarious moments to keep you wide awake. So, don't say I didn't warn you. Keep your curiosity piqued. Because what's coming next is like a wild roller coaster ride. You'll definitely want to laugh along with us. Let's dive into this extraordinary tale together. Initially, the commander had little hope as Rand's wife had just died and his only daughter left home, thinking Rand would refuse, but unexpectedly without hesitation, he agreed. The scene then shifted to the autopsy room, where the coroner noticed the corpse's neck. Subtitles: several lacerations indicate the deceased resisted fiercely before death. Additionally, an 8 blunt force contusion was found on his head. Clearly, this was human-caused. Deliberate murder. This case baffled everyone. Why would the killer return to remove the victim's heart after the body was found, risking further exposure? At that moment, Rand pried open Fry's right hand. A torn paper fragment appeared, but it was so small Rand couldn't figure out what it actually said. With questions swelling in his mind, Rand found the trainee on duty that day, who claimed that nothing unusual happened, just an officer ordered early leave. The trainee said it was dark, couldn't see his face clearly, just noticed a missing stripe on his left shoulder. Rand hurried to where the body was found. While inspecting the area, trainee Alan Poe approached, saying he might have clues. Rand felt confused, but before he could ask, Alan Poe left. After a busy day, Rand relaxed at his lover's bar, only to meet Alan Poe again, puzzled. Subtitles: Rand took a seat directly opposite him and inquired about the meaning of his comment made during the daytime. Subsequently, Alan suggested to Rand that he might as well look for clues from Fry's roommate, Barringer. They reportedly had a good relationship, but one day they fell out for no clear reason, and Barringer threatened to kill Fry. With these words, Rand found direction. The next morning, he questioned Barringer, who claimed he killed Fry to avoid being affected by Fry's bad associates. And then he just killed him. And killed him again and again. Unexpectedly, Barringer insisted it was because Fry had been hanging out with bad students, and to avoid contamination, he had to sever ties. When Rand asked who the bad students were, Barringer said he couldn't recall. Seeing his reluctance, Rand stopped pressing. Rand sought Alan Poe again, inviting him to jointly probe Fry's death. Alan, full of justice, agreed instantly. Next, Rand handed the torn paper to Alan, hoping he could uncover useful clues from it. Sure enough, that night Alan deciphered the He stated that this was very likely to be an invitation letter, and as he wrote down his discovery on a piece of paper, he added from the perspective of writing, come on, boss. Here we are. This is just basic height stuff. Let's solve these letters. It can't be anything but this. We wrote in one. Ta-da. Don't be late. So that's our solution. I can respectfully hand this to you. Rand took the note, expressed his disbelief, and then asked again with confusion. If the murderer was a classmate, they wouldn't need letters. Face-to-face is safer. The only possibility, a woman lured Fry. However, after hearing Rand's deduction, Alan replied, didn't you know the answer all along? If we're looking for a woman, I think I've seen her already. Alan began recounting a strange occurrence that had happened recently. The morning after Fry's death, he saw the coroner's daughter crying sadly by the window. Maybe she invited Fry. But there was still a challenge ahead. The coroner's daughter wasn't a student, making it difficult to reach out to her. As days went by with no progress, Rand grew increasingly impatient. Just then, Rand wondered how to preserve the heart. Only one answer came to mind. Best way would be to store it on ice. So he left a note for Alan, asking her to meet him in the ice room, and then the scene turned again. Rand arrived at the ice room first and saw a bizarre circular pattern drawn on the floor. It looked like some sort of wicked ritual trap. Subtitles: after saying that, the professor took out an ancient book that recorded the procedures for various evil traps. With this discovery, Rand commissioned Alan to infiltrate the ranks of the students. to see if he could find individuals interested in trap rituals. This time, Alan came through once again. Right at Alan's school, he discovered an unverified trap. And there was another unverified trap, saying that Alan's student was just a trap. It was a trap. It was a trap. This means Alan's student was a trap. Alan's student this time. It was indeed a trap. It was a trap. It was indeed a trap. It's a trap. It's indeed a trap. Alan's student is a trap. It 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 was truly a trap. It was a trap. It was a trap. It was a trap. Alan Poe's daughter, Lee, fell deeply in love at first sight with the girl before her. After the party wrapped up, Alan gathered his courage to ask Lee on a date. He expected cold rejection, but Lee accepted. Alan's talented, picking an odd date spot. However, Lee felt refreshed and both enjoyed themselves. As they were leaving, Lee suddenly collapsed, convulsing. Alan was shocked. Subtitles, thankfully, we've managed to bring Lee back to her normal state. Clearly, at that particular moment, Alan was completely intoxicated by love, completely oblivious to her true intentions. Meanwhile, back at home, Rand